What's good, YouTube? My name is Alex and we are True to Football and True to You. Today I'm gonna bring you my 2013 NFL season Week 2 preview video with all the picks and predictions you need for Week 2 of NFL football. Last week went pretty bad. Yeah, I believe it even was tied worst record ever. Finished 7-9, that's pretty bad. So I look forward to bounce back strong from last week. Week 2 starts with New York at New England Thursday Night Football, and honestly, I just simply don't give the Jets another game to win. The Patriots are just too good to mess up as bad as the Bucs did last week. They basically graded this game to them, so yeah, the Bucs should have won, but I don't think that it will happen to the Patriots. Probably this game is the safest pick this week. If you're in a suicide pool or whatever, pick the Patriots. Rams at Falcons, that means Steven Jackson versus his old team. And honestly, I didn't expect the Rams to win last week. They did a pretty good job against the Cardinals. And the Falcons actually lost. That means the Saints are back, yeah, but this Falcons offense is still much better than the Cardinals offense last week, so I think it will be more to handle for the Rams defense. And honestly, this Falcons defense still is pretty underrated. Their backfield, they rely heavy on turnovers, and overall I just believe right now the Falcons won't go 0-2 at all, because they have to catch up with the Saints. They will start 2-0, so I just don't see the Falcons lose at home. Pretty strong home team. Yeah, I mean, very few reasons to go against the Falcons here. Next game is the Browns at the Ravens. Both teams lost last week, and obviously both teams have to hand the ball to their running backs a lot more. I mean, the Browns really only have Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson is the best player on offense. You can't be a passing first team with Brandon Whedon at quarterback. I mean, I understand Joe Flacco is good, but Ray Rice is still better too. So both teams really have strong running backs, and both kind of lost because they don't use their running backs as much as they should. The Ravens overall are better team, and they're at home. I don't think they will start 0-2 either. And yeah, I just think the Ravens have too much talent overall, and the Browns played too crappy last week. So I think the Ravens will win. Third game, Panthers at Bills. You know, what happened last week to the Panthers? They almost won against the Seahawks. I predicted the Panthers to win, but the Panthers fumbled at the Seahawks 10-yard line, I believe. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They could have won this game. Turned out to be the other way. But the Bills almost won too against the Patriots. I just believe the Patriots had a bad game. I don't think the Bills are that good. You know, they have Stevie Johnson, but he dropped a very important pass, so yeah, they almost won. But this Panthers defense is pretty good. The way they stopped the Seahawks offense last week, I believe they can go further and actually will win this ball game against the Bills. Next up, the Vikings at the Bears. You know, I continue to go with the Vikings. You saw what Adrian Peterson did last week. First handoff, basically the first time he got the ball this season. Preseason he didn't get the ball at all, and he scores a touchdown, 78 yards. That was just amazing. The Vikings overall have a slow defense, and they struggle to contain the Lions offense. They went spread a lot, and I think the Bears generally are slower offense, and I overall also think they are worse offense than the Lions. Lions have a pretty decent offense with Reggie Bush now. They showed what they can do. This offense is one to be reckoned with, but I think the Vikings will do a better job handling this game. I mean, last week was close. Both Bears and Vikings could have gone either way. So I think it will be similar this week, but I believe Adrian Peterson gonna have a bigger impact on this ball game, because this ball game will be closer than more low-scoring game than it was last week. So I believe it will be a very close game, and overall time management will be a huge factor for the Vikings, and they can win it. Redskins and Packers, easy game. I mean, you saw RG3 was not 100%, and the Packers offense going to put up a lot more points than the Eagles, I believe. It should be an easy one for the Packers at home. Titans at Texans. Titans won. Texans struggled, but had a great comeback win against the Chargers. Now the Texans are at home, strong home team, and I just believe the Steelers were too bad to make this win for the Titans, you know, a big surprise. So I mean, I picked the Steelers, but we saw how bad the Steelers are this year. I believe they won't make the playoffs. Just a preview, but I just don't think that was so big for the Titans. That win is overrated. The Titans are not that good. They didn't look so well. And the Texans, you know, Owen Danson, Andrew Johnson, Aaron Foster, he will be more healthy next week. Should be a close game though. You know, it's a division battle, but I think the Texans will start 2-0 into the season. Next we got the Dolphins at the Colts. Both teams won last week, but the Colts barely won against the Raiders, who everybody thought they would be trash this season. You know, the Raiders almost won. You know, Terrell Pryor handled this game well, but I just believe the Colts played also under their potential. This offense has a lot more potential. They can put up 50 points a game if they want. They have a great offense. Andrew Luck, obviously the face of this offense, he's pretty damn good. Yeah, and the Dolphins, you know, they just had luck, I believe, because the Browns played horrible play calling, horrible execution, no good decision making. And now the Dolphins on the road in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a strong home ground. I just don't see the Dolphins win this week against the Colts. Next we got the Cowboys at the Chiefs. What a great game, Sunday Night Football last week, Cowboys vs Giants. You see what this reinvented Big D can do. Monte Kiffin reinvented that defense. 6 turnovers, 2 interceptions, I believe 3 fumbles and 3 interceptions each, 3 sacks also. I mean, yeah, pretty great defense. If Des Bryant is healthy, it will be an easy one for the Cowboys, I believe, even though the Chiefs won 28-2 against the Jags last week. This offense is one of the best offenses if they execute, and this defense looks to be pretty sharp this year. So I believe the Cowboys should win this one and start 2-0 into this season. Chargers at Eagles. Eagles look pretty good this year too. They beat the Redskins. This new Chip Kelly offense works well for the Eagles, I believe, and the defense is also on pace. The Chargers should have won last week, but you know, they didn't finish. This will be a very close game, I believe. One of the underrated games this week. But I have to go with the Eagles just simply because of the fact of Shady. I mean, this guy, last year he didn't have the O-line. This line, that's actually one of the biggest reasons why this offense is working again. Eagles have a lot better O-line this year again. Last week was just trash. I mean, their O-line. But yeah, this week, this year, I think Shady will do much better than last year. And in this game, I just don't think the Chargers will stop Shady. So next up we got Lions at Cardinals, and this game could really go either way, but I believe the Cardinals will win this one at home because their defense is pretty good. They have a tough defense, and I think they can handle that Lions offense a lot better than the Vikings could last week. If you look at the playmakers the Cardinals have, I mean, even Tyrann Mathieu as a rookie, what he did last week, or that goal line fumble, that was just pure hustle, man. That's pretty awesome. And the Cardinals offense also improved a lot. I mean, they have a good passing game now with Carson Palmer at their quarterback. And if you look at the Lions, that's just bad matchups. They can't stop the run. They have a great front 4, front 7, but their secondary isn't that good. And I think this is just one of the weeks I think it won't work out for the Lions on the road. I just have to go to Cardinals. That's just pure belief. I think the Cardinals have good matchups, and it just won't work out for the Lions, even though they're the favorite in this game. Next up we got the Saints at the Buccaneers, and I don't think the Buccaneers will win this ball game. The Saints will start 2-0 into this season. They're obviously back from that average season last year, and the Buccaneers also don't deserve to win this game. I mean, it's about execution. They had a lot more talent on their roster than the Jets last week, but they lost because they made a lot of mistakes and just didn't play well. I mean, Just Freeman is probably the most inconsistent quarterback in the league, and you know, against this Saints team, which is obviously a lot better, if there's not a huge change from last week, I don't see them having a chance in this ballgame. Broncos at Giants, Manning versus Manning. You know, the Broncos are just simply the better team, also the better offense, especially if you look at the Giants running game. They don't have one. I said it from day one, even before he was drafted. This guy, this running back who fumbled again 2 times last week, is just a bum. You can't start him. I'm sorry, and I don't think they will find a starter for next week, maybe McGahee, but you know, I think the Broncos offense is just too good. right now to lose this ball game. They will start 2-0. Jaguars at Raiders. Both teams lost last week. Can the Jags get MJD going again? It's about what the Jags want to be. They didn't get anything going on offense. The only thing they scored was a safety. And you know, the Raiders almost won. So you see they have potential. Pryor is good, and they have the running game with McFadden. The offense is better, and their defense is also just as bad as the Jaguars defense. So because they're on home, I believe it's a really slight advantage for the Raiders in this game. I think they will win. 49ers at Seahawks, probably one of the best games. That's why it's Sunday night to watch. 49ers should win this one. You saw the Seahawks struggle against the Pandas, even though the Pandas have a great defense. The 49ers offense looked pretty damn good. And I think this year will change. The 49ers offense will be now a team that can put up a lot of points. This guy, Bolden, man, he's that great. Nobody believed how Flacco could get, you know, all these victories, all these yardage. I mean, it was all about Bolden. Probably he's one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league. And the Seahawks, they're not on pace yet. I believe it will be a close victory though for the 49ers. Monday Night Football, Steelers at Bengals. Both teams lost last week, but the Steelers are just in a whole lot of mess right now. And the Bengals have the better defense, the better offense. I don't think there will be a guy like Tillman take out AJ Green for at least 50% of the plays. It will be 100% AJ Green and nobody to stop this Bengals offense, even though they also don't have a running game. It's just about bad matchups for the Steelers also. Bengals clearly should win this easily.